Have you ever started a home renovation project thinking that's going to take you 2 months and suddenly it's 6 months later and you're still cooking in your living room? Yeah, that's what happens when project management goes wrong. Most projects, whether at home or at work, don't fail because of bad workers. They fail because of bad planning. And today I'm going to show you how to avoid that using project management. By the end of this video, you'll know how to structure a home renovation project step by step, what a project manager usually does, and most importantly, how to stop your meetings from being a total waste of time. Okay, so let's say that you want to renovate your kitchen. Exciting, right? But what people don't realize is that renovation is a project. And like any project, it has 5 key phases. Step 1 is the initiation. Why are you doing this? Why are you renovating your kitchen? Before you hire that contractor, you need to answer these 3 questions. What is your goal? What is your budget? And then what is your deadline? If you skip these 3 steps, you have your contractor asking you questions that you can't answer. And trust me, it's a recipe for delays and extra costs. Step 2 is the planning. It's the who, the what, and the when. This is where most people mess up. You need to plan out every phase. That's your materials, your suppliers, and most importantly, have a timeline. An example of a timeline could be week 1 to 2 is your demolition. Week 3 to 4 is electrical and plumbing. Week 5 to 6 could be your flooring and your cabinets. And then week 7 to 8 is your painting and then your final touches. So that's an example of what a timeline could look like. This timeline will keep everybody accountable. Otherwise, you'll have your contractor disappearing for 2 weeks. And then all of a sudden, your kitchen is a construction site forever. The third step is the execution. And this is where the work actually begins. This is where the work will start. This is where the stress begins. And this is initially when the contractors are now on site or in your kitchen doing the first phase, which is the demolition. Now, this is where the stress starts. The contractors on site, materials are arriving, and things will go wrong. And this is why a project manager is important. Step 4 is monitoring and control. And this is just to avoid any disasters. If you don't track your progress, you have no idea if things are on schedule. A simple weekly check-in with your contractors will make sure that you are remaining on time and then within the budget that you set yourself earlier on. And then the final step is closure. This is the final walkthrough, the final check-ins. The final phase essentially is making sure that everything has been done correctly to the specification that you set initially. And this is where you will check the work, fix any issues, and sign off the project. You're asking yourself now, what does a project manager actually do? Let's talk about the real MVP of any project, the project manager. And no, we don't just send emails and make PowerPoint slides. Let me show you what we actually do. Budget management. If you don't track your spending, you will go over budget. A project manager will usually check costs and make sure that there's no unnecessary spending to keep you on budget. Time management. A project manager makes sure that things do not slip. If your electrician, for example, is delayed, a project manager would adjust the schedule to keep things going. Risk management. Every project has risks. What if the cabinets don't arrive, or what if your suppliers cancel? A PM just doesn't react. They plan these problems well ahead of time. Team communication. Have you ever played with a broken telephone? That's what would happen if a project manager isn't keeping everyone informed. The project manager makes sure everyone, including the contractors, the client, and the suppliers, all know what's happening. Quality control. At the end of the project manager will make sure that everything is up to the standard that was set initially. We don't just trust that things have been done right. We will go in and we will verify that they have been done according to the specification. Now, let's talk about meetings. Have you ever been in those meetings that will go on and on and on and never actually resolve anything? Well, you're not alone. Most people will hate meetings because they're unstructured, unplanned, there's no agenda, and it's full of unnecessary discussions. But a well-structured meeting, that's a game changer. Let's use the scenario of your home renovation project meeting. Let's say that we are in week 3 of our kitchen renovation project. We've hired a contractor and the work has started. A weekly check-in is crucial to make sure that we stay on track. Here's how to structure that meeting in just 15 to 20 minutes. So step 1, start with a recap. What is completed? What is in progress? No long explanation, just bullet points. And that should take about 5 minutes. Step 2 is identify delays and risks. You would generally ask the question, are you still on schedule? If not, why not? And if the cabinets are delayed, this is the point where you would adjust that schedule and the timeline. And that section of that meeting, again, another 5 minutes. And then part 3 is decisions and next steps. Here is where we make the decisions. Do we wait for the cabinets to arrive, or do we contact another supplier? What would the impact of that be on our timeline? Every meeting should end with clear action items. And the 4th item of your agenda should be talking about budget. If costs are increasing, it would be at this point that you would flag it up to your clients, just to alert them to say, costs are increasing, this is our budget, we are likely to go over. And then you start to look at your mitigation. What can you reduce if possible? Or do you need to change a supplier for a cheaper quote? But this is the point where you would have that discussion with the client. And this should generally take about 3 minutes. And the 5th and final item on your agenda is the wrap up and follow up. And this is where you would summarize everything that was discussed in the meeting, any actions and the action owners, and by when you want those actions to be complete. And that is it. It's as simple as that. If you have those 5 key agenda items, you're going into your meeting, you know you're not going to waste an hour just talking about unnecessary things. So you just keep it focused on those 5 items that I mentioned. Try it and let me know. And that is how you manage a renovation project the right way. We've covered everything from planning to execution, the role of a project manager, and how to run meetings without wasting anyone's time. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever managed a project that's completely fallen apart? It could be a home renovation project, it could be a work project, or even just a simple event that you've ran. Drop your disaster stories in the comment below. I would love to read them. If this was helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. But most importantly, share this with someone that may find it helpful as well. And click that notification bell so you get notified every time I post. I will be posting on Saturdays for weekly vlogs. And I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye.